Yo, Banter fam, welcome. Do apologize for being a little bit late today. We are prepping. There's a lot of prep work happening from Miami. We are leaving in a few hours. Rand was going to join us, but he is working on something special for you guys. So he is a bit busy today. So it's just going to be me giving you a nice little view that we had a small pullback on Bitcoin. We're still having that dominance look really, really weak. And I have some really good alt setups that we're looking at. And, it's actually worked beautifully this week where, we've learned not to chase the pumps. We've learned to be stocking up on these zones. And I want to show you guys some fantastic new strategies today, as well as also giving you guys a chance so that I can chart a few coins that you guys are wanting. So 10 minutes at the end or 5 minutes at the end, I am going to be asking you guys any coins that you want me to have a look at for you. I'll be going through some short time frame views to show you how to practice, as well as investment views as well for yourself. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into the show.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Let's put some music on. So Banter fam, welcome to our beautiful community, and a special welcome to any new people that have joined. Remember, the first thing, look to join our family. We are here every single day. You look to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Make sure you're on all of our Twitters, make sure you're on our Instagrams, make sure you're on our Telegram groups, make sure you're on Coin Panel, make sure you have all of these things, because these are all the tools that we have to keep the community together, to keep you updated in the market. Remember, we are here twice a day. We have Rand show, which is a fundamental show, and as well as the charting show. And we want to give you different views, guys. Everyone's always going to have different strategies, and that's why it's so important to bring different views of different ways on people, how they've made it, how they've managed to do it, and that will hopefully help you build your massive strategy that you want. So look to join the family. Remember, guys, we are coming to Miami. And remember, we are having a great party as well, where we get a chance to meet you guys. So make sure that if you do have a look in the description below of the videos, you can see this is where you are able to get your Miami tickets. Remember, please use your tickets only if you are coming, because we don't want to obviously waste and drop the opportunity for any others that want to actually be there. So please make sure you are, and make sure that you also join our community. Let's just get this over here. There we go. Cool. Remember, guys, we have this amazing tool, which is our website. Look to sign in with Twitter, and remember to keep updated on everything. This is a nice little hub that's there to help you with everything from, the calls of the day, from the charts of the day, from articles. There's been fantastic ones on Phantom throughout the week. This is such a powerful tool, or even a powerful source, just to come and have a look at the different views. We have an amazing team that we're building at this point, and there's really so much information here. So make sure you are joining it, and make sure you are using all of our tools. Now, let's jump quickly into the charts, guys, and let's get going to see, what happened yesterday throughout. And, when we were speaking yesterday, Bitcoin was sitting in the region, around 44,000, 33,700. But remember, there's always going to be short-term pullbacks in the market. And this is why it's important, either identifying if you're a short-term trader, short-term traders want to make sure that their lower time frame RSIs are at the bottom. Yesterday when we spoke, it was around about this, this sort of candle over here, and you could see very much that the 4-hour stochastic was sitting very much higher time frame. So this is just another lesson that Doesn't matter if you're an investor or doesn't matter if you're a trader, you're still using the same tools, you're just using them on different time frames. So if you're looking to purchase a coin, or you want to make a short-term trade, or you want to make a medium-term trade, make sure that you're looking at your 4 hour. You want to see where that, is it overbought, is it oversold? Look at your 8 hour, look at your 12 hours. And remember, a 4 hour is going to give you, a view what's going to happen in the next 2-3 days. It's not going to give you a view on what's going to happen the next week. The daily candle, the daily chart's going to give you what will happen for the next week or two. It's not going to give you the view of the next 2 months, 3 months. The weekly is going to give you that. So just by identifying your time frames, you're still using the same tools, the same understanding of everything. You're just using different time frames to understand, okay, I want to do a trade for 2 days. You should be using these time frames. Okay, I want to do one for 2 weeks. You should be using these time frames. Same strategy. Because remember, with the strategy, it helps you with risk management. It helps with all these things. So what happened yesterday was we were seeing that a lot of the time frames were sitting in an overbought position. So Bitcoin was sitting around 44, but the 4 hour was pretty high. And remember, the main concept that we were looking at was, this was the major low that we made around 39,500. We then rallied all the way to 44,000. End of the day, that is a wave to the upward side. So at some point, we are going to have a little pullback. And when it has the pullback, a correction wave, and then all it can do is come down and test these previous support levels. And you can see we have a lot of support sitting around 42. We have a lot sitting around 42,400. That's more or less exactly where we bounced yesterday. And there's also sitting around 42,500, more or less where we're marking now. And that's why you can see that, even though we were having the small pullback, we had a little bit of increase in volume, but we never had massive volume backing it, because as soon as we started to get the acceleration, you could see how volume then started to lower down. And when volume lowers down and we're just coming down to a support buy, we usually like to see that when we get the cross in this RSI to the upward side, we will then start to get an increase in volume. And even though, we have a look, there was the previous low over there. So we are still making really good higher lows at this point. And a nice way to also identify a low is looking at the RSI resets. So when we at the, I like to determine a low when the market was actually oversold. So meaning the RSIs were load out, all that. So if we have a look at that, the last time actually was in this region over here. So if we take that these were the previous RSI lows to this is where the previous RSI low now, it's a very clear higher low that's in play. And it's showing that the bulls are attempting, to reverse the structure for now, and short time frame, I'm still seeing a massive amount of gains in the market. Now, I'm still looking at Bitcoin to make its way to the region of the 46,000. We still haven't tested that zone. So I love that we shot up. And, yesterday I said to you guys, previously we had the Luna trade and we had many of these other trades that was speaking about, but don't chase the pump. Wait for them to come pull back down. And I'll show you now how they hit the buy zones perfectly. And it just teaches you that bit of patience in the market. So I'm looking at possibly, maybe the rest of today, we sort of hover between the 42 and 43, possibly, unless we start to get the breakout of the 43. Then I honestly see a slow gradual growth to get us in the region of this 46,000 range in this more or less zone over here. The only reason why I'm saying it can still be a little bit, maybe sideways for the remainder of the day is because I'm still waiting patiently for the 8 hour. Now, the 8 hour might not get to the full, let's just make it bigger for you there. I might not get all the way to the bottom, but I want to at least see a cross to the upward side. I want to see that, and then I can see, okay, this was a decent little push up, a nice little test of support. We broke trend, we've come in, we've tested again, and now I want to see this sort of range. So I'm sort of looking at, over this weekend, Bitcoin to make its way to around 45, 46,000. My only warning signs is I don't really want Bitcoin to go below 41K. Not to say I'm going to panic out, it's just, I want to know that this is a sort of phase where we are starting to try reclaim a bit, and we're not still in this little accumulation phase where we're going sideways. It's time now for the bulls to start to shine and start to get a little bit of payback from the bears on what they've done, and it's time for them to really start fighting because we are at such critical levels. Remember what did happen? We had Bitcoin that tested the main trend support of this whole trend that we've been looking at all the way since October 2020. So it's a 1.5 year trend that we've been holding, and it was important for us to bounce over there. And we knew it could take a little bit of time, but this is the main trend we wanted to see. And from here, I want to see us make the way to the 46, and I would love to see us smash through that. But for now, step for step, let's see what's happening. So I'm still seeing growth in Bitcoin. I'm seeing a little pullback yesterday as a simple, RSIs were overbought. Please, can you tell Ran? He knows we live at this time. He's busy shouting in the background. So I'm still looking at, the market still has to, the bulls still need to reclaim, and I'm still looking at upwards in the market. Now, what's quite interesting with that is if we have a look at the Bitcoin dominance, is still in, major love of the alts right now, which is good. And remember, guys, when you're coming on every day, the main thing is you want to do your daily check. Now, what is my daily check? I want to go look at Bitcoin and go see where it is, RSIs, overbought, where are we sitting, higher highs, higher lows, very simple, right? Then I want to come and check my Bitcoin dominance. And if I see that the Bitcoin is trailing up and I see the dominance is coming down, it's showing me very clearly that there's possibility in alts. So you want to see that there's weakening in the dominance, because then okay, I want to trade some alts. Go look at this indication. If this indicator is telling you that the dominance is weak, it's telling you, yes, alts is a good, that's a good one that you need to look at. But if this is surging upwards, rather look at Bitcoin, for the trade or for the short-term swing or for anything like that. So the dominance is a nice little thing for you to have a look at. I did want to just show the USDT dominance as well, as I think this is a very important chart that, we've had the USDT dominance moving up. And what does that mean, guys? It just meant that people were getting out of coins back into USDT. Obviously, a bit of uncertainty in the market, but we had a really strong rampage down over the last year in the USDT dominance. And then we had this rally up. And you remember this golden 618 zone? And that's all I did was I took the fib from the top to the bottom of where we are here, and we literally hit the 618 beautifully, which means that this is still a very much downwards pattern at this point, where we're going to look at a nice, next drop in the USDT dominance. So it looks like this is ready to poise as well to bring money back from dollars into the coins again, and we can start to get a strong push. Remember to also use, looking at your totals. These are very important. There still looks like there's tons of growth to come in the total, a lot of money to enter the market. We've had about $200 billion to enter in this last week. And I think we can be looking at another 200 billion just to the actual trend. So this is where I see the next gains, over the next few days still. I don't want to be missing out. Remember the total too. Is excluding Bitcoin, but including Ethereum, which is also quite slow right now. So it's showing very much the interest where we want to see is the only chart that's breaking daily trends right now is total 3. And that's just another indication that these are altcoins without Bitcoin and without Ethereum. So it's showing us we are looking in the right place. Remember, the dollar is looking weak, so this is good. I like to see this. I do just want to see the lower low in play, but this is always just a good signal for us that finally the dollar has started to lose some sort of steam. And this has always been a good sign for the stock markets as well as the crypto markets as well. And remember yesterday, guys, as an investor, I'm still very interested in DeFi projects. Looking at the DeFi Index, this is looking really good. So as an investor, use your weekly stochastic, go choose your best DeFi tokens. But I think it's going to be a really good few months for DeFi as well. Cool, let's have a look. Anything else? Guys, look at this Anyswap. I really wanted to call it the other day, and it was like 2-3 days ago, but look how this thing's just taken off. I think it's one of Andre Cornier's projects, and I think it's got something to do with, it looks absolutely fantastic. Like, this is looking good. I'm not saying to buy this. We will catch it on a pullback, but definitely keep eyes on this one, because if you can get a nice special of 30-40% on this thing, I'll definitely be looking to add some to my bags. So let's go through quickly and let's go have a look where we're looking at in the market. So Ethereum, quite slow right now. That's why I think that because we took such a knock over time, I think the growth is going to be quite slow over the next few days with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't see them having strong wicks. I see, Ethereum slowly graduating its way to around $3,500, $3,600, as well as Bitcoin making its way slowly to the $46,000 region. But now that's not the same for alts. We're starting to see, like Kusama, it's running 7% today. We can see these coins are waking up, guys. And now we got in Kusama where it's starting to break daily trends to the upward side now. So for me, Kusama is looking great now on this break of trend. I want to close above that today. But if Bitcoin starts to rally up now, Kusama looks like it can really make a strong rampage to the $350, $400 region. So it's nice to see that, these alts they're looking strong. Even looking at DOT. DOT's at the verge where you be a bit more patient now on the daily now, but by today, if Bitcoin gets this nice little push up, DOT looks like it's going to rampage. It looks like it's really going to make its way to the $30, $35, $40 region quite quick. So for me, remember, the simplicity is zoom out as an investor. All my high time frame weeklies for DOT is saying, as an investor, dollar costing is beautiful in the zone. Now my short-term tinglies are going off for this as well, where we break in daily trend. If we close above exactly where we are now, more or less, by the end of the day, I'm not afraid to enter the zone over here and put my stop loss at the under the previous low, which is around 25.50 at that zone, which is about 4 or 5% risk. But I am looking at let's go test the next resistances, and these are the zones around $40. You can see that's a good 30-40%. So if I'm risking 4 or 5% for a 40% gain, it makes sense to me. So that's looking good. Let's jump on to AVAX. This I still think is fantastic, short-term trade and investor-wise. Investor-wise, I'm dollar costing because I know the weekly's at the bottom. And short-term trade-wise, it popped perfectly into our buy zone. It literally dropped beautifully because now, if you're buying now, this was the stop loss I was giving to you guys yesterday. Remember, I said be patient. We weren't there yet. Be patient and come down to these zones over here. If you're buying at this zone and you're putting the stop loss, just under where I've given you now, you're running at a 2.5% risk, which is great. I'm looking at shorter TPs to free up some cash, the one at 12% and the one at 24%. So I'm risking 2% for 15 to 25%. This makes sense to me, and that's why I'll be definitely looking at this as one of my short terms. RUNE again, see there, guys, beautifully. We caught it there, took profit there. It came back down to entry. Now I want to buy again in my entry. I'm not buying up there. There was my buy. Now look how it comes back beautifully to come test my buy zone again. And now it's saying me, okay, RUNE's getting to a point if I can catch it between 6.1, 6.2, that makes sense. And I can put a stop loss at 5.9. And you can see, just going back to that region, you make another 15%. So you would have made a nice gain of, 12 to 15% here. You then would have had the pullback, which means you would have made another 10% to 12% more coins. And then you would have been buying back in again now. And let's say this thing rampages, because I'm looking at another 20% growth coming from RUNE as well, which means you would have made 12% cash upwards. You would have then freed up into some cash. Then you would have had the price of the coin. So remember, you're in USDT now. So that stays stable. And then you got the coin value coming lower. And now you buy again, you end up getting another 10% more coin. So you have actually made 24% of your money, more money. And now all of a sudden, if this rampages up another 20%, you just start to do the calculations. Wow, this coin only moved in a specific range, but I ended up making 50% because I learned to make dollars and I learned to make coins, and now I'm learning to make dollars again. So it's a really nice little strategy for you to look at. So anyway, RUNE's looking great. Luna's a buy for me right now, short term. High time frame, remember weekly, we're not ready yet. But short time frame, I'm thinking a nice move to $88 to the region of $100. I think this is great for Luna as well. Remember, guys, not leverage trades. These stop losses are too big for leverage if you're playing higher leverage than that. So if you are doing that at your own risk or anything like that, remember, much smaller stop losses. Yeah, Luna's looking fantastic for a nice little move to the upward side. And it's sort of similar that I want to do the same thing with RUNE, where I think we'll have a strong push here somewhere. We will then look to take some sort of profits. Then I see a little downwards trend happening at some point. And then remember the simplicity of I have an opportunity to make dollars here. And if I can look to make dollars in the region of 11 to 20%, taking profits, remember, traders never afraid to take profit. You do not fall in love with the coin. You work with the system. And then from here, then let's say it has another 15% down. I'm looking at making 15% up. I'm then looking at 15% making of more coins downwards, and then possibly a next buy-in and another push to the upward side. So you see how this, it's a really beautiful way of thinking. And this works the same with the weekly or as an investor. The only thing is with investor, you're only trading twice a year or once a year. So it's the exact same strategy. It's just on much higher time frames and a lot more patience coming with that. So that's looking good. EGLD as well. Just my stop didn't get hit. So this is now, risk-wise, it's looking really good. We would, personally, if this comes down over here, I'm looking to drop my stop loss a little bit lower. Reason being is because I can manage to manage a little bit more risk here. And I think EGLD is way high in play. We've got bullish divergence and we have the RSIs all at the bottom. And for me, this shows me that a stop loss lowered now to about 189 or somewhere there is only 3% risk. and I'm looking at gains 17 to 30%. And same sort of thing. I'm taking a little bit of profits on the way up as a short term for the same reason of the previous ones I've just shown you. Now, one that's coming up today as chart of the day, which I think is really good. You know, I'm seeing, you know, Cardano's at that level for investors. I still think the next month or something is going to really be a strong movement for Cardano. You know, we're sitting right at golden ratio zone. Last time we were there, we had a rampage completely up. So as an investor-wise, I'm drooling over Cardano now, and I'll be looking at a lot of the ecosystem coins as well. Remember, the bees always like to move, and we've seen this many times. They move to Luna, then they move to Solana, you know, and I think at some point they are coming to ADA. You know, their dApps, everything is, you know, fundamentally wise. I think they are a ship that likes to be quiet at times. You know, they pretend that they're quiet, they're not doing anything. I think there's a lot going on in the background here, and I think Cardano is one you need to definitely be having a look at and keeping your eye on as well. Looking at Chainlink, you know, Chainlink's finally getting to the areas where I say I wanted to buy, which is between $23 and $24. This is looking good. I'm finally happy that Chainlink, you know, it really recovered well. It's coming now back down to test. I would love to catch the test over here, add some more to my bags, you know, and then I'd like to see it, you know, soon between $35, $40, breaking out of this main trend. So I'll update that as we start to go. The next ones that's looking quite interesting for me. Look how long DXDY has been on a downwards trend. Guys, their volumes are massive. You know, I think they're really, really good. And now we're at that point where I want to take short-term trades, and I'm investing as well, because all my weeklies are at the bottom. And as a short-term trader, this is looking great for me. You know, it's looking at me, you know, possibly having, you know, a 6% sort of risk where I'm putting my stop loss, a little bit of room. But I am seeing this rampage nice to these areas over here, as well as these tops. That's not even breaking out of structure, you know, and we can be looking at gains of 20 to 40% just to these next sort of levels. So DXY, this is looking really good for me. I'm definitely interested in it. It's looking great. I was then looking at our render, where our render has literally bounced just above our stop, and this now is beautiful for me. You know, a short-term trade again on render is great. It had the little rampage up, so we're at this area yesterday as well, saying make sure you are looking at buy zones, but this is looking good, guys. I'm looking to, you know, top up my entry I took on yesterday, putting my stop loss here, because I'm looking at a nice little, you know, 4% risk, and I am looking at great gains in the region of 20 to 30% from render. So render's also another short-term one is looking good. And I think it's nearly at that point. I think another week or two in this range, and then as an investor, I'm making sure I'm loading up. Cool. I was just looking, have a look at that comment. Remember, the graph's also looking great as well on what we're looking at. So, because I don't want to go through too many more. There's so many more, you know, and remember the phone coins are fantastic. Remember the phone coins, which we're looking at Phantom, we're looking at One Harmony, we're looking at Atom, we're looking at Near. You know, these are really good active coins that anytime we get pullback, they get bought up really, really quickly. So I'm keeping a close eye. I think Atom is at that point, you know, it keeps hovering at this all-time high level and the region over here. I think, you know, maybe possibly it's forming a sort of wedge here. So if we have a look here, it is forming a daily wedge. And I think a break of this bull flag, which maybe can be, you know, beginning next week anywhere there, I think you need to keep eye on Atom, because, you know, if Bitcoin does break through to the 46K region, we have Atom hovering here, and this breaks through. And now we start getting a rampaging market, you know, it breaks all-time high. We know real, you know, greed can start entering the market over here. So just remember, it was $44. It's now $38 now, so it's on a special. But this one, I'm not going to be trying to guess the bottoms. I'm going to be buying the confirmation buy to the upward side as well on where we're looking. Cool. So that's all looking good, and I think that's more or less where I'm going to keep it. There's one more, is Qredo. This one is coming back to buy zone. I'm thinking anywhere between, you know, 4.5 to 4.8, 4.9 is a really good buy for this token over here. I do feel it's going to do this sort of play, where we're going to have a nice little push up to about $7, $8. That gives me some nice dollar gains, and then possibly a nice little position where I can free up a bit of dollars, wait for the little pullback, wait for the RSIs to get to the bottom, stock up again, and then ride the next wave to the upward side. So I think this is also looking really great. Now, guys, I am going to be giving, if we can at least get, let's have a look, 4,000 likes, James. If we can get 4,000 likes, I am going to give away 5 of Sin City $100 giveaways. So make sure that we do get these likes. I'll be about another 5 minutes, 6-7 minutes left of the show, guys. So if we do get those likes, I will be doing some giveaways for you as well. Guys, let's have a look. Let's open it up here. I want to see what coins you would like me to chart, want me to go through, and I'm going to go through short time frame as well as investor time frame as well. So I see VET. Let's have a look at VET quickly. VET to USDT. Load up your chart. There we go. So this is hovering beautifully on support. So for me, for investor wise, it's looking really good. Short term wise, it's not breaking any short term trades yet. So I wouldn't be trading it short time frame wise, but investor wise, you know, do your basic checks, go have a look. Stochastic way oversold to the thing. So, you know, last time it was there, it was in the same region of where it is more or less now. And you can see the last time it ended up having, you know, growth in the region of, you know, 230% was the last time we were in this range over here. So this is looking good. Investment-wise, VET's looking great. We'll look at ZIL. Let's have a look. Have a look at ZIL. So ZIL's at that point, you know, this coin really moves when it comes to, you know, bull season time and all of that. And it looks like it's in beautiful accumulation phase. So it looks like we've come off, you know, a nice little pull down in the markets. We're now riding in a sideways phase of the market. And I would like to see the break of this daily trend over here. The break of this daily trend, which it looks like we are near, can look that we can make our way to the top of the range. And then either we can see, you know, do we lose steam there, maybe bottom of the range, and we shoot up again. But I would like to see, you know, I'd see this possibly making its way to 12 cents. So, you know, that's 120% away from where we're looking at now. Let's have a look. Arweave. Let's have a look at Arweave quick. Let's see where we're sitting. So Arweave's also looking good. Investment-wise, I'm a bit patient. I think we can catch around $40 on some sort of pullback. It's not really shooting up too quick just yet. And it's showing me there's a bit more time of accumulation in this range. So maybe possible short time frames. Just remember, risk, 3-4% risk to whatever you're looking at, because it can go to this trend at any point, which is around $60. But I wouldn't be going too crazy on this just yet. I'll just be looking for investment buys and waiting for it to come close to the $40 region. Any dips there, ladder in, and be patient with that. I'll have a look at Coti for everyone. Let's get Coti up here. Remember, guys, if I don't go through these coins every day, they are all on coin panel and they're all charted fully. So, you know, this is looking good. So Coti, bit of patience in the zone over here, but I see we are holding support and we're sort of forming this flag over here. So it's looking good. It does look, it can have another test around 30 cents, but it looks like there's a lot of volume buy ups when we get into these zones over here. So maybe a possible another week or 10 days of a bit of sideways here. And it does look like we can have a nice little Coti break that can take it back to, you know, 45, 50, 60 cents in that region. I still think Coti is huge. I think it's really going to have a strong rampage. And some of these days, you know, I'm still seeing a $1 Coti. So as an investor wise, I'm very interested. Short time frame wise, you know, I'm going to give us another 10 days. And then from that, I can then have a look at that. Yeah, ADA season coming soon. I agree very much. I think it's definitely one that's going to do well. Let's do a few more. James, have a look there at if there's likes. Otherwise, there'll be no giveaways. Phantom, I went through that already.
Checking. But slow today at 2.4.
Oh, well, no giveaways is fine. It means we'll give more on the next one. I do think this will really be, people will make some good money if they're there. Okay, so let's have a look at Super, guys. Super's on a beautiful support trend right now. So I'm liking this. This is looking really good. And we have this nice sharp downwards trend. So that just shows, you know, I want to see a close of Super around about 1.2 on the daily. And then it's triggering both things. It's triggering that as an investor, we're breaking a key level. You know, this can be a nice rampage back to $2 to $3. And as a short-term trader, you know, even just to move to 1.5 is really big gains. So I'd be a little bit more patient, but this one's ready. This one could be possibly by the weekend. Just be a bit patient. Wait for a daily close about 1.17, 1.2. You know, then you understand how to manage risk because it's just outside of a trend. So this one's looking pretty good. And what would probably happen here is this would probably rally up. And as you can see, the rally, let's say it's about 1.5. The RSIs will get to the top. Then we'll have some sort of turn back down to the region. So it means, you know, a little push up here, test again and go up. So maybe investor, you know, dollar costing, I'll be dollar costing between 90 cents to 105 in that region. And I won't be buying it if it goes to 1.5. I'll be waiting for this all the time as an investor. As a short-term trader, you know, a nice 30% gain, and then a nice little 20% farming stage, and then a buying in again. You know, I'll keep aware of super for short-term trades. I think it's going to look good. Looking at Solana, Solana's looking good, guys. Just needs more time. It is getting bought up between the 130 to the 135, 140. It's been bought up quite a bit, but this is showing Solana a bit more time in this range, another week or two, and then we can be looking at the next breakout. So investor-wise, you know, weekly, let's go look at the weekly stock. It's completely oversold. So investor-wise, I'm dollar costing in the zone. Trading-wise, I'm not trading Solana just yet. I'd rather wait for that trend to break. Why? Because then there's more volume, guys. And it's I want to win. I don't want to lose. So if I can see a coin's not getting volume right now, why must I try to trade it and hope it's going to happen? You know, when it breaks trends, then volume's going to come in. Then it makes sense for us to be getting in and out. Because then we know at least we're not wasting our time. We're actually doing something that's going to work. I see a lot of other ones here because I just don't think they're all on. Let's have a look at Algo. I see they're not all on TradingView. Let's have a look at Algo. So Algo is getting to, you know, it's on support. So let me show you again. Now I just open my charts. I jump to the weekly. You know, we are getting to the downwards phase. So saying in about 2-3 weeks, I'll be looking to invest in Algo. But this is nice because what I want to see, I can see we're nearly in an oversold position. Now I want to go detect the trend. And you see what it shows me. It shows that Algo can come a little bit more down, which is about 1.1 to the 1.15 region. And that's where I want to buy it as an investor. So now it's teaching me it's on my radar. It's a really good coin, and this thing really rampages. But let me be a bit more patient for another week or two, and let me catch it there. And then I know I'm happy and I'm buying at the right sort of stages. So that's looking good. Bread. What coin's bread? Fred, do you know what bread is?
Bread.
bread. Okay, Rose. I'm going to do Rose as the last one, guys. And let's have a look at Rose. Rose has just been rampaging. So you remember what Rose is doing? Remember what I showed you guys, support and resistance? Have a look here. Like, you know, this was a previous high. Look how it turns it into a floor. So we break through, we test it as a floor, and now we've done the same thing. So I do think Rose is going to come back at some point to 42, 43 cents. You know, anywhere here just to come test support, because what it does is it may rampage further now, so I'm not buying in yet, but I'd wait for this pullback anywhere in these zones, simply to what we've done previously, where, you know, we come to this region over here, we then shoot through, we then come test it again, we then shoot through, we come test it again. You know, it's doing a very simple base of breaking resistance, test the support. So Rose, I won't be selling. I definitely won't. I think it's doing well, but I won't be buying or investing too much in it just yet on where we're looking at. I do think we need to add in Theta. I agree, because Theta, I've been patient for so long, guys. And I know, we've bought at many different levels with this, but like Theta is just at a, firstly, it's at 618. It's showing me another week or so of sideways, okay? But remember, we are buying beautifully on support right now. You know what I mean? We're buying at a really cheap rate. So I do think Theta is going to have a rampage back to $7-8. That's just a resistance, but it can possibly look at breaking through, really starting the rampage again. So I'm not giving up on Theta. I think it's really good. I think investor-wise, you should be looking to be very interested. You know, it hasn't broken any short-term trends just yet. So as a trader, I'm not trading it too much short-term just yet. I'd rather let it wait for those zones. But as an investor, I'm very interested in that as well. So that's looking good. 1 inch, guys, great. I think 1 inch is at good levels. Maroon River, fantastic. It's looking at really good levels. Secret, all of them, cool. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I need to go get ready for Miami. I'm excited. We are getting fetched in a Lamborghini. I'm very excited for that, and I think it's going to be a really good week. I think we're going to be doing one shows next week between the both of us. James, is there any possibility we have enough likes? Otherwise, have a look.
Checking, but it has been a bit slow.
We'll be giving away on Monday.
2.7, brother. 3.1 straight away. Looks
Unlucky,
more like a
unlucky,
Monday.
unlucky, unlucky, unlucky. So we're going to give you next week. So guys, I'm going to see you all in Miami for the next show. Remember, simple strategy. I think we've managed to simplify a lot this week. Identify who you are. Use the same strategy, just different time zones. It's very simple. It's very easy. So guys, I love you lots, and I'll see you all on the next show. Have a great weekend, everyone.